So one of the things that the exorcists I see they are doing is uncovering the great riches of the tradition that have unfortunately been buried since like the 60s. Like the Roman ritual, all these traditional blessings have been around for thousands of years. Even just the power of the sacraments, if you compare the modern baptism rite and the traditional baptism rite, which a lot of exorcists favor, priests favor, there's so much richness there. The doctors of the church, most of us don't know a lot of these old things. They're now labeled as old and we don't know about them, but the exorcists are using them. They're using blessed salt, holy water, blessed crucifixes. And you're like, well, what's the blessing? What's the blessed mean? And there's this rich blessing placed on all these things. And that's what we have sacramentals, which help the flow of grace coming from the sacraments. They're an aid to further the application of sanctifying grace, which comes from the sacraments, into our lives to make us holy. Then there's the question in the book about holiness. The power of holiness repels the devil. So we learn all these tools through the book of, based on what exorcists see happening in the rite of exorcism, how we can use it to protect ourselves, push the devil away, but also grow in holiness at the same time, and therefore become an enemy of the devil, rather than seeing the devil as like something coming against us. Like we're coming against the devil. The church is coming against the kingdom of Satan, and we're part of the church. So then we have this great battle. This is back to the whole, like, what's the mission? What's this adventure, this quest that we're on? It's a spiritual battle that we don't have to be afraid of, which is an interesting twist. So, and then a lot of statistics too about how prominent, how much there's a rise of the occult, which was the gateway, it was kind of the step towards my next book, which was called The Rise of the Occult. So talk a little bit about the occult, how urgent the need for education on all this stuff is based on what exorcists are saying.
Now, one thing that came to mind while you were talking, part of the mystery about exorcism, I think in part is because, especially in the 60s, 70s, 80s of the catechesis in the church, we were actually downplaying even the miraculous in Scripture. There were seminaries teaching that, most of the stories of Jesus that involved miracles were just symbolic and things like this. And of course, if you do that, by default, you're also downplaying the spiritual warfare side of things, because that's just not miraculous. There's nothing there supernatural. And so I think it's important. The work you're doing is reminding us that this is real.
Yeah, very much so.